Hello everyone, Specter here and welcome to Star Citizen. So this is the showroom for the 2956 Drake DefenseCon, which is the one that overtaking the Invictus launch week. It is quite predictable because, well, since last year, for some reasons, Drake was being allowed it in Invictus launch week instead of having a separate showroom. So as always, I will go through all the new ships or relatively newer ships in the showroom instead of all the ships because, well, some of the ships are quite old and I had already introduced them for multiple times. So in order not to keep you guys feel bored about it. So before further ado, let's get to it. The first ship that I'm going to talk about is this Drake Pitbull. It's a snuff fighter, one-seater. Although it's a snuff fighter, but comparing to the other light fighters, you got a lot of weapons on board. You got 4 size 1 laser repeaters as well as 2 size 2 laser repeaters at the side. And on the wings, you got 6 size 1 missiles on board. A very serious firepower in here. It's a competitor to the Mirai Fury series. And just like the Fury, you got a lot of components can be accessed from the side of the ship, which is very nice. And at the back, you can see the engine probably is as same as the Buccaneer. While the Buccaneer got 2 of them, the Pitbull got 1. And at the side, you got the weapon rack in here, can put guns on it if necessary. And you got a fuel pod in here as well, which is very nice in the future when refueling for the ship is feasible, of course. Now, just like the Golem and Golem Ox, you can access to the ship only via this front section. For the view, it's quite good as a fighter, although the interior is a little bit it seems like the joystick as well as these panels is being connected by some cheap steel water hose or something like that, or water tube. But well, it's a Drake ship after all. If it works, works. So don't complain about it. And just like the other Drake ships, you don't come up with any kind of ejection seat. So when this ship, go into battle and things go sideways, you will go down with a ship after all. At the end. So basically, I don't think you will end well if you're being shot at and destroyed it. So yeah. For Warborn price, this ship come up with 50 S. Not SCU, sorry, USD, US dollars. And if it comes with like a standalone price, it would be 55. It's a little bit expensive comparing to the Aurora Mark II, because that ship, well, the basic one without any kind of modules is only cost 45 US dollars. But to be honest, if you are not just if you just aim for the LTI, then go for it. Buy the ship is okay. But if you just want to have a ship that can fight, I believe that this isn't. That shouldn't be. This ship shouldn't be your first choice because this is a snuff fighter. It means that you don't come up with any kind of quantum drives. You can't go anywhere unless you have another ship to carry around. So that's why if you really want to have this ship, you better have another ship to carry around. If not, I will suggest you to find another ship for combat instead of finding this Pitbull. The second ship I'm going to talk about is this Clipper. So basically, I talked about this ship already last time, but since it's a relatively new ship, so I'm going to talk about it again. So it's a multi-role ship and you can do many things with it, and it also comes with a med bed. So it's for like a solo gameplay players. Basically, this ship itself is quite versatile. You got many stuff that you can do with it. So from the exterior, you got 4 size 3 weapon mounts on it. You can see it in here. And also on wings, you got size 3, size 2, and size 1 missiles on board, which if you talk about firepower, this is a very good ship. So if you want to play some cargo hauling gameplay, you can do it, because this is like a cargo bay with 12 SU worth of cargo space in here. You can put it in here, so that if you have some stuff you can carry around, you can do some cargo hauling missions, but of course it must be a small one, if not you can't carry it around. This ladder can access to the 2nd floor, but if you don't want to use the ladder, this is the elevator. So basically press this button in here, you can call it up. Call it down. So let me press it. So this is the 2nd floor of the ship. This ladder can lead up to the cockpit directly, and this section is a fabricator supposed to be here, which is not here still. So it's supposed for you to craft something in here without a proper fabricator in your hangar, so you can really craft yourself some stuff on board of the ship in the future, but not now. In here you got a tier 3 med bed in here, and if you got injury stuff, you can lie down like this and heal yourself. Or if you're just purely too hungry, too hungry or too thirsty, you can fill up your thirst as well as your hunger in here. If you want to regen, there's a way, but you need to purchase some med gel from the clinic. So you can insert them in here. You got 2 slots in total. So right now everyone's wallet is kind of empty, so med gel is kind of expensive to them. Probably would be less likely for people to choose to regen on this clipper, unless they have no choice, of course. Over here is a lower section of the engineering bay here. You got the upper section over there. You can see a hole. Later on we'll talk about it. Now from this ladder, let's take a look at the cockpit. Over here you got some jump seats in here. You can sit on it to carry some passengers. This ship can carry some passengers, up to 2 people of course, but seems like these seats are not coming down, so I just sat in the middle of the in the mid-air. But yeah, so you can carry people in theory. This is your living quarter, just like a copy of the cutter. And this is the upper section of the engineering bay, and you got a panel in here, the terminal, and this lever, if you close it, the floor will be closed, and if you press it again, it will open again. So it's just like if your friend is standing here, you know what to do. So this is a cockpit and the pilot seat in here. Basically, as a fighter, if you treat it as a fighter, the view is, it's still okay, but the panels in here is blocking your way. But since this is not really like purely fighter, so I think it's acceptable. Yeah, so basically, if you fly the ship, it's kind of comfortable, I would say. Okay, so it's time to go downstairs. This time, yeah, just like this, and you can go down. Then this is a ladder I'm talking about. Never mind. There you go. So right now the clipper is available in game, but since everyone in here is probably is kind of empty inside of their wallet, so yeah, Anyway, probably no one can purchase this ship in game anytime soon. But if you really want to try it out with, I'm not suggesting anyone to purchase any ship, but if you want to pledge this ship, then 135 for warbond price, 150 for standalone price. But I suggest you to like really purchase it in game, fly around first to see whether it's your cup of tea. Because like if you want to use a geo, this thing won't fit unless you use the tracker beam to clip it in. If not, well, this thing can't carry a geo. But it's a very interesting ship after all, so well, it's not a bad thing to try it out if you really want it. Okay, so here is the elephant in the room, which is the Ironclad Assault that produced by Drake Interplanetary, but I'm not going to introduce this ship in this video, not because I'm lazy, because just like this guy in here, it's bugged. Okay, so now you guys, CIG, please listen to me. Next time if you introduce any kind of big ship with ramps, make sure that you you make this ramp like accessible from the ground, okay? Not in the middle, not in the mid-air. Because you guys are very good at making new ships, okay? But also, you guys are very good at making doors with broken sensors. I know you can access the door from those ladders like in here, but the doors are not opening, so keep people out of the ship is not a very ideal, especially you got a very beautiful big ship with $650, okay? So like this ship costs $650 for stand-alone price, but with 2 broken doors, yeah, this is how smart you guys are, okay? So yeah, let's move on first. This is the Grace Market first and only ship that's flyable in the verse. This is the Shiv. It's actually the combination of multiple racks together, but if it works, works. So it seems like they changed the skin of it, but for myself, it means that more things come off from the ship when it's being shot at. Well, being said here, although it's not very good looking, but many players, they prefer to use this ship when it comes to, combats, because this ship actually got a lot of firepower. So let's take a look first. So basically, it's just simply a chassis for the colors black, with different engines from maybe a Valkyrie or I don't know, maybe this one from Drake, I don't know. Like basically multiple ships fused together. Yeah, but don't underestimate it. It's a very good fighter according to many players. It got 32 SU worth of cargo space in here instead of 46 from the Cuddy Black. You don't have jump seat in here, and instead of buttons you got levers to close this ramp. Well, yeah, probably because you don't have that amount of power to, make it work if you use buttons. Alright, because it requires some electricity after all. So this is the only way for you to access to the cockpit, and comparing to the Cuddy Black, you don't have doors in here, okay? That's why it's like a little bit narrower. Now, in the cockpit, just like the Cuddy Black, but it just much miserable compared to it. Some gun racks in here, very nice. Bed with broken ladders, don't climb up there. Instead of manual turrets, this time it's a remote turret on the top. That's why it's sealed in here. In replacement, they put a lavatory here, aka toilet, with a bucket. So basically, if it's sanitation wise, if this ship is not the worst, it will be next to the worst. Because number 1, number 2 in this bucket is not ideal, of course. At least it's come up with some toilet paper, that's nice. If you want to wash your hands, use these bottles as well as this bucket. If you want to keep the smell away from the cockpit, close this. Well, make sure you won't trap inside. Just like the colors black, you got the cockpit scene here. The view basically it's just like the colors black, nothing different. But compared to the colorless black, you got 2 size 4 weapons in here, which is ballistic Gatling guns with duct tapes. But right now it's kind of very powerful Gatling gun as well. You got about 10,000 rounds, I believe, last time I checked. And also you got a remote turret in here with 4 size 3 weapons on board, which is very nice. Of course, you got some missiles as well, but well, just like a stronger version of the colorless black, I believe. That's why people prefer using this ship for combat. For Warborn price, it would be 135. For standalone price, it will be 150, just like what you can see for the Clipper. If you guys talk about Shiv is a kind of extreme, then this M80 from Origin Jump Works is another extreme. This is a first heavy fighter created by Origin Jump Works, or the Origin, of course, aka. It's a very beautiful fighter with wheels in here. Basically, it's a luxurious ship, luxury ship, with guns, just like a Ferrari or Lamborghini with guns. But don't be tricked by its outlook in here. You got 2 size 5 weapons as well as 2 size 4 laser repeaters hidden, I believe, around somewhere in here, which I can't see it right now since it's not rentable right now. Yeah, I can't tell. But you got some size 1 missiles as well, 16 in total, I believe, as well as some I believe 4 size 3 missiles as well. And here you can access to the interior of the ship by this ramp. And this guy want to get inside as well. Yeah, why not? So I will let him to, well, enter the pilot seat first while I will close this thing. The ramp... no, sorry about that. I don't know how to close this ramp. But let's to be honest, if this ramp is being closed, then it's supposed to be something like this. Okay, good. Now you got a very good interior, and someone switch on the like a emergency light, something like that. You got a bed in here. Well, it's really Origin. Yeah. So basically, you can log in and out from the ship. But unlike those 300 series, you don't come up with a lavatory or toilet, which means that sanitation-wise, well, you really need to go back to the station to deal with it. But at least you can log out and log back in from the ship if you're tired in real life, of course. You got tons of ship's components in here, which is quite good if you talk about like repair them on board of the ship instead of flying outside of a ship, which is very nice. But still, some components can be only accessed from the exterior. Don't be tricked by this. They say that you can purchase this, but basically, no, please don't do that. You got a pilot seat over there. It seems like someone is sitting on it. Why not? But I can guarantee that the view itself is really good. So if I can get access to it, then I will show it to you guys. So let's wait a moment. You got some gun racks in here as well, which is very nice. Let's to be honest. Like that guy, yeah, I'm so happy. And let me switch on. There you go. This is the normal light, okay? So don't use that emergency light. It's really bad for your eyes if you don't have a proper glass to protect your eyes. Like too flashy. Alright, so after 5 to 10 minutes later, this guy seems like he's still on the pilot seat. It seems like he's fused to the seat. Yeah, I hope that he's just AFK because I encountered another kind of bug that if you enter the pilot seat, you can't leave. Let's hope that he is not like screaming on the global chat. I'm not going to switch it on after all. I'll pretend I can't see it. Okay, so the view itself is quite good since it's an Origin ship and it's the only way for you to, you know, look outside of a ship. So yeah, it should be quite good. And some of these components can be only accessible from the exterior, like these. And also these log of stuff, I'm not sure what is it, like quantum drives? Yes, it is. And also at the back, you can see some thing in here, like this. You can put some, like 2 SU worth of cargo in here, which is very nice. So, these wheels, you may ask why you need wheels after all. It seems like in the future, you can really, you know, use a proper runway to take off instead of using your VTOL engines. Let's hope that is true. It's just a rumor. That's what I heard from people. But if it is true, then it's a very good thing. Now, there are some components, probably radar is at the front in here. Not sure what is it, but it seems like it's a radar. Now, since it's a heavy fighter, I believe that if you talk about the price point, probably would be around $200 to $300. I'm not sure because right now it's not accessible. You can't rent it as well. I can't test it out. Maybe in the future, if I can test it, I can talk about it more. Let's hope that that mate is like just simply AFK. Yeah, truly hope that's so. Okay, take care, buddy. And just a few meters away from that MAT, I mean dozens of meters away from the MAT, I just discovered something. Well, it doesn't seem like CIG learned anything from the previous Invictus launch week. They are selling the flight blades again. Well, good luck CIG. Really, like why you need to do that anyways? So here is the Aurora Mark II. It's a relatively new ship. Let's to be honest, I didn't really introduce this ship, but I own one. So maybe in the future I will separate to talk about it individually. But right now, just briefly talk about it. It's a, well, basically it's an upgraded version of the Aurora Mark I. And it's a mini Scorpius you can consider because when this wings like extended, it looks like a Scorpius. You got 4 size 2 laser repeaters in here. Of course, you can change it into different kind of weapons. You got 4 size 2 missiles as well. But of course, you can upgrade it by using weapon modules at the back, like this one. You got additional size 1 shield generator, as well as I believe that it's like 8 size 2 missiles. If I don't memorize it wrongly. You got original 2 SU worth of cargo space in here. You can put 1 SU for each side of this ramp here. You can press this button to close it, like so. But since this ship is modular, so you can change into a different module, a cargo module, that can give you 6 more SU worth of cargo space. But of course, you'll be having less shield and less weaponries to choose. You got some VTOL engines in here. Right now it's not useful, but in the future probably would be much useful compared to nowadays here. Now you got some components outside of the ship, and also there's a feature, I believe, which you can actually climb up there, unlike the other ships. So if you talk about like repairing the ship from the upper top here, which you can access it from here, like this. And it's a very ideal way. You don't need to, you know, really go to a second floor to do such a thing. This is your only way for you to get in and out of the ship. Press this button, this thing will come off here, come out, and this main interior will be like this. Close it, then this thing will be locked. You got some gun racks and like a suit. This thing is for the suit, okay? Suit locker, sorry, I forgot about the wordings in here. And you can access to the ship storage from here as well. You got a bed, which is a little bit wider compared to the Aurora Mark I. You can log in and out from this bed, of course, but you don't have a washroom. So if your character in the future need to deal with number 1 or number 2, then probably you need to go back to your mothership or go back to the station. Yeah. The last patch I mined a lot, especially like hand mining. So basically I use this ship to fly around, which is very nice and very ideal to, you know, for a daily drive. I enjoy to use this ship a lot. Sorry about my false information about my previous, not previous, but just like when I introducing the Pitbull, this ship is actually $40 US dollars for Warborn price and 45 for standalone price. So I think that I said something wrong when I introducing the Pitbull previously, so sorry about that. But anyway, it's a very nice ship to fly around. If you really want to, join the game, purchase the package in here, then Aurora Mark II probably is one of your best choice. Well, compared to the Titan, kind of. But just like everyone got different preference, I will prefer you guys to test it out first before you really buy something else. But yeah, right behind the Aurora, this is the Aegis Tiburon, sorry, is a variant of the Hammerhead. Compared to the Hammerhead with a lot of turrets, with a lot of repeaters, this thing is designed to kill capital ships with a lot of ballistic and laser weapons. So, first of all, at the top, you can see a size 10 laser beam weapon. And of course, you got a lot of remote turrets, in total 4 of them, which armed with size 7 ballistic cannons. If you talk about frontal assault, this is a very good ship. As I said, this ship is designed to kill capital ships. Of course, since it's a variant of the Hammerhead, you also come up with some manned turrets with 4 size 4 laser repeaters to fight off those fighters. But it will not be very effective. Well, of course, turrets in this game is actually not very effective after all to so-called kill fighters. I will make a video about that in the future. So this is one of the ways for you to enter the ship, just like the Hammerhead. Oh, by the way, if you talk about the weaponries, this ship should be come up with some missiles as well. Size 3s should be about 32 of them, if I don't memorize it wrongly. You got some remote turrets in here, which is very nice, and it would be a little bit better comparing to the manned turrets on the Hammerhead. Instead of having the docking collars in here, you got a lot of suit lockers as well as like a weapon racks in here, which is very nice. It's your way for you to enter the cockpit or the bridge. Of course, if the elevator is not working, you can climb downstairs or just jump down here. It's okay as well. So this is a pilot seat, just like the Hammerhead. The view itself is very nice, but yeah, so probably you can control that big laser repeaters. And here comes the same bug that I encountered, or maybe that guy on the MAT encounter. So it's really bad. Please, CIG, fix something. If you demonstrate any kind of ships like this, yeah, please, really. Alright, so as you can see, these kind of pilot seats right now is really deadly. It locks your character from moving around, so try not to touch these seats. If you try, try to take a look at these ships, because, well, you locking in and out like this, it's kind of tired. Now, let's move on first. So at the back section, it just simply looks like the Hammerhead. You got a remote turret in here with a lot of escape pods. And this is the elevator to go upstairs. A captain's quarter with a workable chair right now, so that you won't need to sit like this sideways. But I'm not going to touch it because I don't want to be locked on the chair again. This is a captain's quarter. The bedroom, not quarter. Over here is another remote turrets, the remote turret seat, gunner seat, as well as this one is the engineering room, crew quarter with a washroom over there, cargo bay just like a hammerhead with 64 SCU last time I checked, a manned turret with quad size 4 laser repeaters, which is accessed from here. You got a room up there to oversee all the cargoes just in case that they ran off. You can access to the upper level via this ladder as well as the elevator. So you can look down from here. By the way, this is the engineering terminal as well. You got like a gravity generator in here. Don't put your hands inside, if not your arms will be ripped off probably. And this is like a canteen for the crew, as well as a pantry for, there's nothing on it right now. You got some glass so that you can peek outside before your ship goes down probably. And you can see there's an elevator down there. Okay, so basically this ship probably share the same price point as the Hammerhead, about $700. Maybe, but right now it's not accessible or rentable, so I'm not sure. But price point wise, I think that would be similar. But anyway, remember this ship is supposed to be for, multi-crew gameplay. So if you try to fly this thing alone, then you probably can only operate the laser cannon on top, as well as, those 32 size 3 missiles. Here comes the MISC Starlite, which is a very tiny, new, flyable kind of refueling ship. So since after 4.8 you got refueling missions, as well as refueling is kind of important in Star Citizen in the future. So that's why they implemented this ship instead of like only having a Starfarer hanging around. So let's to be honest, this is quite a nice ship. You got a similar hull design for the whole A series here. The cockpit, is quite nice. I'm not gonna sit over there just in case. So the elevator wise, it looks like what is it called? Like the Fortune probably. Yeah, similar to that. But instead of at the back of the ship, this is in the middle of the ship. You got a suit locker as well as a gun rack, which is very reasonable. You can access to your bed, which you can see the fuel tank outside of the ship. Just in case that something is leaking, you can jump off the bed and run away. You got a working mirror. You can see yourself here, and the toilet, and the kitchen in here. So basically, this is a very tiny area, but well, I would consider it's a very useful area as well. So yeah, we can't complain with that. So in order to go down, you press that button, then you can go down from the ship. That's the only interior you got for the whole entire ship. And you got probably like 2 separate fuel tanks to get your fuel to, refueling the other ships, which is quite nice. Let's see if it's out, then I may take a look to see how it works. So basically, it's a large ship that, well, it's not really a ship, but yeah, it's a Kraken. So basically, they rework on the Kraken quite a lot. So that's why it looks a little bit different from the original concept. But anyways, this thing is not the real Kraken yet. I think they rework on it. So that's why it's supposed to be having something underneath here, I believe. But anyways, it's not going to be flyable until next year, probably, because it says that until 2957, which is next year. So yeah, it remains a concept ship, but at least you got a date probably they can launch it at that time. So yeah, basically it's all the ships that I can talk about it today in this like 2956 DefenseCon. Very unfortunate about that Ironclad Assault because of that broken sensor on the doors, which I can't access to the ship. Many people cannot as well, which is a shame because like that's a $650 ship after all, and now it's like inaccessible because of two broken doors. That's very nice. Anyway, yeah, that's it. Okay, so I will try to make that assault video. I mean the Ironclad Assault video as soon as possible. Once if any kind of server is working, then I'll go there to take a look. So that's it for today. I hope you enjoy and see you next time. Bye bye.